Everybody, I just heard the really sad news of Sabine's passing. And for those of you that didn't know Sabine, I can absolutely say one of the most inspirational, encouraging, and positive creative contributors to our community for so many years. And just leaves behind such an array of art, well over 1,000 records, hundreds of projects. And, I'm just thinking back to projects that like Tracing Scars, that encourage people to share different sides of their own experiences on camera, but just always jumping in on different creative activities, whether it was drawing, writing, video, expanding, I'm sure, her own boundaries and just pushing forward and just really being somebody that you could always look out to have something new, a new idea, a new spark, something that could inspire somebody else, seeing somebody else's project and participating or lending a nice comment of encouragement. There's just so many ways over the years to contribute to HITRECORD, and she really did them all. And it's not just the pieces of art, it's the comments, it's the videos, sharing different sides of herself and just being such an amazing spirit. So deeply affected by this news. And one of the things I was doing was just scrolling through her art today, and it reminds me that something I think about a lot is the art that we leave behind here on HITRECORD. It certainly speaks about ourselves, different moments of our lives, different creative inspirations, but also shows our outlook on the world, how we see things, the types of emotions we feel and want to project out there. And I'm looking at one of her most popular pieces, which is called Never Really Gone. And I'm going to resource it below and just read it aloud here. When it rains, don't be sad. It's just me touching your face. And it's a really beautiful illustration she shared. And I'll leave you with that. We miss you, Sabine. Artist Michael Madsen just passed away today, and I felt incredibly compelled to get on the camera here and address this with the HITRECORD community, because Michael was an active member of our community. I know so many people will think of him as Vic Vega from Reservoir Dogs. I loved him in Kill Bill, especially the second one where he had that great scene about that fucking hat. Just so much great stuff. As much of the memories of tough guy roles, you got Thelma and Louise, where he really had that soft, sentimental side. And, he shared 27 pieces of art here in the community. His writing, photography, paintings, spoken word. I've had the privilege over these, feels like decades and decades here at HITRECORD of collaborating closely with a variety of guest artists that are widely known throughout the industry. And Michael by far was one of, if not the coolest. I can't describe to you what it was like to receive sort of like these audio messages of him reading poetry in the morning, and I would just get these files, sent. And, the time that I got sent the Star Throwers, which I'll resource below, including a particular piece remixed with music, I was just blown away. I mean, there's a lot of moments where I've had this sort of like, how is this real? And I think that in particular, hearing that poem about seeing starfish out by the water and having a moment with his children and his dogs, I've been listening to that today, and man, it's pretty surreal, and beautiful, and magical, and just wonderful, and I'm just so filled with gratitude that Michael joined the community, and that his work, in addition to his awesome acting, lives on here. 27 pieces and thousands of remixes from so many different people. I just can't express what a joy it was to hear these poems, to read them, to see the photography, the paintings, and it's just the true definition of an artist. What a generous man, and inspiring and collaborative, and take a minute if you can, and go through his stuff. Maybe read it aloud, listen to how other people performed his work, listen to his voice. I mean, what a voice, right? The Star Throwers in particular, man, what a piece. One of my favorite poems of all time. Just feeling very grateful today, and very sad. I just wanted to share. Thanks.
This is the town of Whiskey River. It was built by a young man named Luke. No one really knows what goes on in Whiskey River, because the people who live there can't move, and they don't speak to each other. The town is watched over by a giant bird. There he is. People live in fear of the giant bird. It's probably why they don't move or speak to each other. Whiskey River is a strange little place. Would you like to live in Whiskey River?
I don't think people understand how art can become a legacy. Some artists don't just create, they inspire and uplift even after they're gone. Sabine and Michael Madsen were living proof. Sabine and Michael Madsen, names some may not know, but spirits anyone would feel. Their art wasn't just honest or beautiful, it was alive, deep, and true. I first stumbled onto their work while wandering through the heart of HITRECORD, and it was like finding a secret door to something sacred. Sabine's visuals, gentle, soft, like moonlight dancing on water. Michael's words, they echoed, strong, thunderous, yet always tender. Together they left fingerprints on heaven's window. And when I started writing Heaven Light, Hallelujah, I felt their presence like guiding stars, not just memories. That lyric, God is shining his heaven light for us all, became a prayer for everyone we miss, a love letter to those who showed us beauty and truth. This isn't a story of mourning, it's a celebration. Every brushstroke, every lyric, every note in this collaboration is touched by Sabine and Michael's legacy. We sing with them, not for them lifting their light higher together. So to my fellow artists and dreamers, let's let the heaven light shine. In every creation they live, in every hallelujah they rise. Thank you, Sabine, thank you, Michael. Your heaven light shines on.
Heavenly lights, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Through the night, God is shining his heavenly light.
breaking chains, healing heart, giving every soul a brand new sight. I see the color in the sky, a promise written way up high. No fear, no shame, no fall. His heavenly light is shining, shining. For us all. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. God is shining His heavenly light, lifting the broken, answer the call. Answering the call, hallelujah, hallelujah. Let's praise and let's rise. Glory like the star lighting up the sky. God is shining His heavenly light for us all. Hallelujah, hallelujah, we standing tall. Glory like the star lighting up the sky. His presence turned the darkness into the brighter. In every fight, every tremble and every tongue and every soul, His heavenly light make the breaking whole.